Servants of the city, Naga City, we have to be proclaimed. Ang Tangawi. Privilege time. Reading and approval of the order of business.
I move to dispense with the reading of the business and move for the inclusion of the following items under special business order number 10. Deliver date July 14 from the City Mayor, requesting for the package of resolution authorizing grant of 10,000 pesos financial assistance to non-military
Marami security ang
Batista,
Naga
School, Muay Thai Regional Center. Under issue of the related Marantel, the request of the City Mayor on the passage of several resolutions requesting the DPWA to help City Government of Naga with the realization of some projects in the City of Naga. Under unfinished business, number 4, letter A, which is part of the report of the Committee on Public Business, the proposed ordinance authored by the Honorable regarding the underground facility under the business. The letter coming from the City Mayor requesting for an authority to negotiate with Ms. Asuncion Joaquin for the acquisition of certain property located in Barangay San Felipe for the housing, for the city's housing project. If there is no notation with an audience for us. So, and I think the Committee on Housing should also discuss this particular matter so that we can arrive at a more objective decision. Next, under new business. Coming from the acting city agriculturist, requesting for an authority to enter into a MOA for the City Mayor with the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. Still under new business, Madam Chair, is the resolution coming from Barangay San Francisco, requesting the City Mayor to allocate necessary funds for the construction of Barangay San Francisco Evacuation Center. And there is an item given to me, Madam Chair, which was received only yesterday afternoon. This pertains to the report of the Committee on Appropriation. So, may I know from the chair of the committee whether there are urgent matters included in the committee report?
Today, the copy of the committee report was sent to the members of the Sangguniang Panlungsod through email.
So, are there important or urgent matters?
Yes, Madam Chair, with regards to the budget for fuel, oil, lubricants, and electricity.
So, with that, Madam Chair, we include the report of the Committee on Appropriations under unfinished business. With the inclusion, Madam Chair, I move for the approval of the order of business.
Any second? Honorable Rosales, inclusion or comments?
With the indulgence of the Chair of the Committee on Rules and Ordinances, Rules and Privileges, may I request that the report of the Committee on Laws and Ordinances be included as unfinished business in our agenda, Madam Chair. There was only one item in the committee report, and this is not yet due for recommendation to the plenary for approval for its second reading, but only for endorsement to certain offices for their comments. So as to save time, if it will not be reported today, 7 days will still lapse, and it will also have
It will affect
another
the action of
7
the
days
departments.
for the departments to
Take action.
make their comments.
Okay, Honorable
So, is a copy of the report already received by the Secretariat?
Yes, Madam Chair. If it is not yet received, I will have it received. But I understand this came from the Secretariat for reception today.
Anyway, Madam Chair, if it is just for comment of some offices, and it is already a committee report, then we include it under unfinished business.
Committee on Laws and Ordinances. Okay, the agenda with the following inclusions and duly seconded is approved. Next item.
Special business order. Item number 1, proposed resolution authored by Honorable Jesse R. Albios, congratulating and commending Earl Dwight R. Cerrado of the University of Nueva Cáceres, former City Youth Administrator in 2019, for being awarded summa cum laude, Special Student Academic Award and Service Award in the University's 74th Commencement Exercises last June 24, 2022.
Honorable Albios.
Earl Dwight Cerrado of Barangay Abella graduated with summa cum laude and a former City Youth Administrator in 2019. Madam Chair, si Earl po, ang inaan niya, solo parent and sarong manicurista na nagsiservice sa mga harong-harong, and ako nagtutubod na sa mga marahin na inspirasyon digdi sa tuyang komunidad na dawa, nag-aagi kang pagtios, nagpursigi hanggang makatapos. Kaya for his feat na nakuha birang summa cum laude sa Bachelor of Education major in Mathematics, may I move that we pass a resolution congratulating and commending Earl Dwight Cerrado of Barangay Abella and of the University of Nueva Cáceres. So I move, Madam Chair.
Next item.
Proposed resolution authored by Honorable Mary Kyle Francine B. Tripulca, commending Ma Angelica Dehita for graduating cum laude under the Bachelor of Science in Meteorology program in Bicol University.
Honorable Trifulca.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Maria Angelica Dehita is one of the graduates of Bicol University in Albay. Please. And she is a resident of Naga City. She's from
Kenya.
Concepcion, Pequeña. And one of the pioneering graduates of BS Meteorology at the Bicol University, and she's finishing with cum laude honors. So I move to pass this resolution on joint and collective motion to a resolution commending Maria Angelica Dehita for graduating as cum laude under the Bachelor of Science in Meteorology at the Bicol University.
On joint and collective motion approved. Next item.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Trifulca.
Letter dated June 30, 2022 from the Regional Director, Virgilio C. Duarte of the Department of Public Works and Highways requesting for a passage of a resolution by the Sangguniang Panlungsod endorsing the construction of the flood mitigation structure in Barangay Triangle in Tabuco, Naga City, as city's proposed priority project as one of the minimum requirements under the Comprehensive Investment Programming Guidelines for its inclusion in the Regional Development Investment Program and for subsequent inclusion in the fiscal year 2023 succeeding years regional budget proposal.
Madam Chair.
Honorable Honorable Castillo.
Castillo, Madam Chair.
Castillo.
This is the previous request, Madam Chair, of the City Government of Naga to the DPWH, and now the Regional Director of the DPWH Region 5 has a letter to us requesting for a passage of a resolution of the Sangguniang Panlungsod endorsing the construction of the flood mitigation structure in Barangay Triangulo and Tabuco, Naga City. This is requirements, Madam Chair, under the Comprehensive Investment Program guidelines for the inclusion in the Regional Development Investment Program. That's why, Madam Chair, I move that on joint and collective motion, resolution respectfully endorsing to the Department of Public Works and Highways Region 5 for funding the proposed construction of the flood mitigation structure at Barangay Triangulo in Barangay Tabuco, Naga City, Camarines Sur. So I move, Madam Chair.
Okay, approved. Next item.
Letter dated July 13, 2022 from His Honor the City Mayor requesting inclusion under special business or order the passage of a resolution authorizing the grant of 10,000 financial assistance to Iona Lu T. Mendoza, a grade 5 student of Naga Central School 2, for her participation in the National Age Group Chess Championship to be held in Malolos, Bulacan, this coming July 19 to 24, 2022.
Honorable Albion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Considering that the City Mayor has favorably endorsed this financial assistance to Iona Loto Mendoza of the Naga Central School, and the date of the competition will be on July 19 to 24, may I move that we pass a resolution granting financial assistance to Iona Loto Mendoza, grade 5 student of the Naga Central 1 Elementary School, in connection with her participation in the National Age Group Chess Championship to be held at Robinson's Malolos, Bulacan, this coming July 19 to 24, 2022. So I move, Madam Chair.
Any second? Okay, approved. Next item.
Letter item number 5, letter dated July 14, 2020 from His Honor the City Mayor requesting for a passage of an ordinance appropriating the amount of 18,182,065.82 of the undeclared surplus to essential expenditures of the City Government of Naga, specifically item number 2 and number 3 thereof.
Honorable Salvador del Castillo.
Madam Chair, before we dispose of this matter, may I request that the presence of the city accountant, the city treasurer, the city administrator, and the city budget officer be
So we defer this temporarily.
they be invited in today's regular session. I have so many queries on the matter, Madam Chair. So we might as well invite those four officers of the city
So we
with
defer
regards
this-
to this request.
Yes, we
of the
defer
mayor.
temporarily and invite the department head mentioned by the Honorable Del Castillo. Next item.
Proposed resolution authored by the Honorable Jesse R. Albios, congratulating and commending the Universidad de Santa Isabel for producing 2 of the 10 outstanding student teachers in Bicol by the Council of Deans for Teacher Education and the Philippine Association for Teachers and Educators Incorporated, Bicol Chapter, last May 16, 2022.
Honorable Albios.
Items 6, 7, and 8 are related to the conferment of the 2022-10 outstanding student teachers in Bicol region. These are 3 individual resolutions for Monica Cameron De Pante, who was conferred as the 4th outstanding student teachers in the elementary category, and 2nd, Joshua Mark A. Bautista, who was confirmed as a top 1 in the secondary category of the 2022-10 outstanding student teachers conferred by the Council of Deans for Teachers Education and the Philippine Association for Teachers and Educators, Bicol Chapter, last May 16, 2022. Also, another resolution commending the Universidad de Santa Isabel for producing 2 students in the outstanding student teachers of Bicol. So I move, Madam Chair, for the passage of individual resolutions for Monica Cameron De Pante, Joshua Mark A. Bautista, and the Universidad de Santa Isabel. So I move, Madam Chair.
Any second? Okay, 3 resolutions. Separate resolutions. Approved. Next item.
Proposed resolution authored by Honorable Jesse R. Albios, congratulating and commending Joshua Mark A.
Yung
Bautista.
napag-examine mo.
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
That's included in the number 9.
9, resolution number 051, Series of 2022 of Barangay Lerma, requesting for financial assistance of 20,000 pesos for this year's Barangay Fiesta celebration.
Honorable Albios.
As per records of the City Budget Office, only 3 barangays have claimed the financial assistance as of yesterday, namely Barangays Abella, Carolina, Tabuco, and Tinago. Apat pala, Madam Chair. So, with the request of Barangay Lerma for financial assistance of 20,000 for this year's Barangay Fiesta celebration, may I move that we grant the request and pass a resolution granting the financial assistance on joint and collective motion.
On joint and collective motion. Approved. Next item.
Item number 10, letter dated July 14, 2022 of the Honorable City Mayor requesting for financial assistance in the amount of 10,000 pesos to Monly R.D. M. Reyes and Baptista Lynette M. Reyes, student from Naga City Science High School and Naga City Hope Christian School, respectively, both residing in Naga City, in connection with their participation in the 2022 Muay Thai Regional Championship Luzon leg on July 14 and 17, 2022.
10,000 each. 10,000 each to 1, 2, 5,000 each. 10,000 for the 2, so 5,000 each. Okay, Honorable Albios.
Move for a passage of a resolution
2 resolutions.
granting financial assistance to Monly RDM Reyes and Baptista Lynette Reyes, student of the Naga City High School and the Naga City Christian Hope School, respectively, residents of Naga City, in connection with their participation in the 2022 Muay Thai Regional Championships Luzon Leg Tournament on July 4 to 17, 2022, to be held at Olongapo, Zambales City. 5,000 each, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Joint and collective.
Joint and collective motion. Approved. Next item.
Letter dated July 15, 2022, Abisano the City Mayor requesting for individual resolutions for the following projects: road improvements, flood control projects, and buildings.
Honorable Salvador del Castillo.
Mayor is for us to pass a resolution requesting the Department of Public Works and Highways for the funding in implementation of various projects within the City of Naga. And as we know, these projects are big ticket projects, and we really need the assistance of the national government so that these projects will be realized. So with that, Madam Chair, I move on joint and collective motion that we pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 resolutions to cover the 11 projects as requested by the Mayor, requesting the Department of Public Works and Highways to help us implement these projects within the City of Naga. So, on joint and collective motion, Madam Chair.
On joint and collective motion, approved. Next item.
Unfinished business.
Unfinished business.
Committee report of the Committee on Games and Amusement.
Honorable Jose Ranyola.
Report, Madam Chair.
Report is acknowledged.
This report was done on July 14 with only one in the agenda. There was a quorum. Number 1, undated letter of Mr. Alan Abogado, operator, Racing Center to put up a carnival and games during the duration of Peña Francia Fiesta from August 15 to September 30, 2022. May I go directly to this petition, Madam Chair?
May proceed.
On motion of Honorable Joselito del Rosario, seconded by Honorable Jesse Albios and Honorable Antonio Beltran, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to pass a resolution approving the application of Mr. Alan Abogado of Dait Camarines Norte to operate the carnival and peryahan at the vacant lot beside the SM Triangulo, Barangay Triangulo, Naga City, subject to the compliance of the necessary documents and payment of the fees. I so move, Madam Chair.
Any second? Okay, approved.
Thank you, and that ends up my report.
Thank you, Honorable Ranyola. Next item.
Committee report of the Committee on People Empowerment dated July 14, 2022.
Honorable Hilda Gail Abunal Gomez. Move for the approval of
had the hearing last July 14. There was a quorum, Madam Chair. There was only one matter discussed. This is the Memorandum Circular number 2022-083
First,
of
move,
the...
move first for its acknowledgement of the report.
May I request for the acknowledgement, Madam Chair?
Your report
Sorry.
is acknowledged.
There was, we had a hearing last July 14. There was a quorum and there was only one matter discussed, Madam Chair. It is the Memorandum Circular number 2022-083 of the DILG dated June 15, 2022. This is about the guidelines on the accreditation of civil society organizations and selection of representatives to the local special bodies. Also included herein is a timeline of activities pertaining to the accreditation. May I proceed to the disposition, Madam Chair? So the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to direct the CSO desk officer to respond to resolution number 2022-063 within 7 days upon receipt thereof, and present the same to the Sangguniang Panlungsod. I move, Madam Chair,
Second.
and urge the CSO desk officer to look into the accreditation process and the ideas presented to the committee regarding the harmonization of the process with the NCC. Chair.
Any second?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Honorable Gail Abonal Gomez. Next item.
Trying to see. Yeah. Committee report of the Committee on Land Use.
Committee on Land Use, Honorable Del Castillo.
Madam Chair, I move for the acknowledgement of the report of the Committee on Land Use held on July 13.
Your report is acknowledged.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have 4 items taken up during the committee hearing. Item number 1 is the letter dated June 27, 2022 of Mr. Frillis, forwarding the technical evaluation of the document submitted last October 2020 of Engineer Jan Paulo Pablo, Technical Service in charge of the Golden Haven Memorial Park, relative to the application for land reclassification of the parcels of land located at Barangay Caraya, Naga City into commercial or memorial park. And related to that, Madam Chair, is item number 2, letter dated June 27, 2022 of Mr. Prilles, forwarding the technical evaluation of the document submitted last October 12, 2020 of Engineer Jan Paulo Pablo of Golden Haven for rezoning of a parcel of land located at Barangay Caraya, Naga City into commercial memorial park. The matter was taken up simultaneously, Madam Chair. And after the deliberation, may I proceed to the disposition, Madam Chair? On motion of Honorable Ranyola, seconded by Honorable Buenape, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to defer the matter pending the submission of the pertinent document from Department of Agrarian Reform that their order of conversion is no longer necessary in this application. So I move, Madam Chair, that we direct our secretary to communicate with the applicant so that they can submit this required document to the committee so that we can finally dispose of the matter. So move, Madam Chair.
Any second? Okay, approved. The secretary is so instructed.
By the way, we already told the applicant, Madam Chair, to secure that necessary document from the Department of Agrarian Reform. But for formality, we should still send a formal communication to them. Item number 3 is letter dated June 17, 2022, of Punong Barangay Alfonso Rodriguez of San Felipe, informing that the property donated by the heirs of spouses Felix and Irene de Los Santos at Bagong Sirang, San Felipe, Naga City, is at present being used as a road right-of-way, not only by the 12 household residents in the area, but in the future will also benefit adjoining properties at Bagong Sirang, San Felipe, Naga City. May I move to go to the disposition directly, Madam Chair? On motion of Honorable Ranyola, seconded by the Honorable Buenape, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to request from the Office of the City Mayor whether there is indeed a deed of donation that was already signed by the City Mayor and the donor. So I move, Madam Chair, that we request the Office of the Mayor to furnish us the pertinent copy of the deed of donation if there is, so that we can dispose of this matter. And the second, Madam Chair, is for the Secretariat, our Sangguniang Secretariat, to go over the records so that we would also determine whether there is already an authority from the Sangguniang and a ratification from this body regarding this supposed donated property to the city. So, a directive to our Secretariat, Madam Chair.
So the Secretariat is so directed.
Item number 4 is letter dated June 28, 2022 of Mr. Prillis submitting the report of the status of action taken in reference to the reported violations by the owner of Ujamar property in Barangay Panikwason. Actually, this probably, Madam Chair, has long been pending before the committee, but we already give directive to the officers concerned that they should impose the necessary sanction to the violator according to our existing ordinance and existing laws, particularly the National Bidding Code. So with that, Madam Chair, the disposition of the committee on motion of Honorable Joselito del Rosario, seconded by Honorable Rosales, the committee resolved to defer the matter. So I move that we defer the matter, Madam Chair, and the continuous directive of the committee to the offices concerned. They are directed to submit a regular report to the Sangguniang Panlungsod through the Committee on Land Use. Yeah. So with that, Madam Chair, that ends my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Del Castillo. Next item. Ay, the acting city treasurer is already around. Who else is present? Okay. Okay, Honorable Del Castillo.
And a representative from the city accountant is already around.
Okay,
So can we
because
go back to the request of the
we
mayor?
were informed that Mr. Frank Mendoza is on sick leave. And our city administrator is already, oh yeah, is coming. So we go back to item number, si Sema Simbag. Si city accountant? Ang city budget, pa representative siya kang ano?
Mr. Ojeda of the city accounting office.
City accounting. So we go back to item number 5. The special business. Okay, Honorable Salvador Del Castillo.
I purposely requested the presence of the head of the 4 offices, but the representatives are already around. So my query, Madam Chair, is what is the specific account from which this 18 million came from? Because dahil man pwedeng basta sa na may sobrang cash, pero mayo maning pertinent account na napighalian ini yung pigsasabing undeclared surplus na 18,183,000 pesos. So what particular account, in our books of account, does this 18 million came from?
Representative from the city accountant? Accounting office.
Honorable Vice Mayor, honorable members of the Sangguniang, good morning. The 18,182,000 unappropriated surplus, the source has been a result of a, excuse me. The result, this amount has been a result of the initial query by the Finance Committee as to for us to look into the balance of the cash. So because of that, we, for the information of the majority, the basis for our surplus is computed based on the current operations.
Yeah, the result.
Okay.
That's the
Now,
result of our operation.
to help us in investigating, we decided to use the balance sheet method to look into why our cash balance is in this amount. First of all, sir, we using the balance per book of all of our cash items.
All cash account.
All cash accounts, yes. For general fund only for this particular item. First of all, we removed the unrecorded bank reconciling items. so as to have the adjusted book balance. Now, from that amount, we then remove these holdouts. Ano po ba what are these holdouts? These are our bank accounts which are restricted as a result of our previous loans. So since they are restricted, we are not free to use them. So we deducted that from the balance. Likewise, we also deducted the amount which is under litigation. What was this? This was the 8 million in cash from the postal bank, which is under litigation. Okay. Next, we also deducted the proceeds of loan of 32 million because this amount has already a specific purpose. So we cannot use that, or this it is excluded from our computation. Now, the net cash available for operations is around 668 million. Now, based from that amount, we then removed or we deducted our obligations and liabilities. So the current liabilities, the deferred liabilities, likewise also our long-term liabilities to ensure that all of our obligations are backed up by cash. So the cash balance which is not secured to liabilities, okay? So these are the cash that are not secured to liabilities amounted to 277 million. Next, we removed our continuing appropriations. So these are the our items that has been already budgeted. The total capital outlay or total continuing appropriation amounted to 237 million. Therefore, the estimated cash surplus will be 40 million. But during the year of 2022, we already declared 21 million. Around 22 million, 22 million. Therefore, based on this analysis, we can say that there are around 18 million in unappropriated cash surplus.
So, meaning there are accounts during the previous year's operation of the city.
Yes, sir. It is from the previous year's operations.
Yeah, that's right. And all these figures we are talking about are the figures ending December 31, 2021. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, that's why I want to be clarified because in my mind, there are certain accounts which is the source of this 18 million pesos.
Okay.
So, dahil na nindo ma-identify kung anong particular account.
For us specifically, sir, it's already difficult to ascertain, sir. Probably as a result of the accumulation from prior years.
Because the usual source is the accounts payable.
Yes, sir.
That's the usual source, the accounts payable. In some trust liabilities, which are already not certain of being settled.
Perhaps an easier or a more simpler explanation would be that for the past few years, the surplus has been computed using the current or income approach. But in this approach, we decided to try using the old accounting method, sir.
Yes.
So
I think the old accounting method is much better than the new accounting method.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You will, at a glance, you will know what's the content of the financial statement.
And as a side note, sir, actually there are moves by the Commission on Audit that will probably include the old accounting method into the new system,
Okay.
sir. Anyway, yes, sir, please continue.
So, based on your analysis, this 18 million pesos is certain that it is already free of any obligation by the City Government of Naga.
Free from obligations, yes, sir. And also, this is also a conservative computation.
Why conservative?
We have excluded the holdouts using the current balance as of December 31. But these holdouts, sir, have been contracted when the loans, when we had old loans.
No.
Yes.
Out deposit only pertains to a certain portion of our cash account,
Yes.
which cannot be
Used.
used
Yes, correct,
at
sir.
a certain period of time.
Yes, sir.
Dahil pasiguro kang bangko na kung mayo kita ning dahil kita makabayad, dumanin na kuko nun si
Yes, sir.
pambayad.
Yes, sir.
But
But
it is covered by an appropriation.
yes, sir. But as of now, sir, the loans that these are purportedly supposed to be covering is almost fully paid.
Okay.
Okay. So, it's either they are all, these are more, kumbaga sir, if the loans are probably going to be fully paid, then they are securing more than enough. So that is that's why we think this is a conservative approach,
Okay.
including the holdout, sir.
So, Madam Chair, I'm already clarified of the matters that I want to be to ask our resource person. I have certain questions as far as the appropriation is concerned. Thank you, Madam Chair. But
Thank
as
you,
far
Lord.
as the source,
As
I'm
the source.
already
As far as the source,
yes.
it was already clarified by the representative of the City Accounting Office.
yes. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Del Castillo. Honorable Del Rosario.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, sir, for the clarification. Iapot ko lang. We've been given information kaya na pirmi kitang short of money. Almost weekly, we've been provided with the information na always the city government is always short of money. Then out of nowhere, aron nga ni kang paggalas ni Councilor Del Castillo, you were able to locate at least this 18 million, which you stated na conservative estimate. So you can still look for other monies within the operations of the city na pwede tang i-declare as unappropriated pa. No? So, tama ba ang pagkaintindi ko, nakadakol kitang mga babayadan ngunyan dyan, nakapending sa city budget saka sa city accounting? Okay. Kung daita masimbag yung categorically, siguro, Madam Chair, kung igwaman, we still have, kung ma-appropriate ang ngunyan sa session ta, ining 8 million as being requested by the city mayor, we still have 10 million na pwede tang magamit, pambayad duman sa mga napepending ng mga obligations kang city, ng mga services, ng mga products, mga equipment na nakonsigir na kang city, na naghahalat na lang mabayadan.
Pero 18 million na pigahapon. 18 million sa obos itong...
No, the urgent there being requested by the city mayor as stated in his note are items number 2 and 3. So pwede tang ika-dispense yan iba, tangarig mabayaran ito mas urgent. We stick with the note of the mayor na yung urgent dyan are items number 2 and 3. So siguro, Madam Chair, that's for consideration of our resource speaker today, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair.
How about itong sa fuel?
Ang nakabugtak niya, Madam Chair, Tintin.
Pakibaba daw si...
Ano na si ano? Yan o. BM Nene, SP, items 2 and 3 are considered urgent.
Yes, item number 2 and 3. Thank you, Honorable Del Rosario. Honorable Del Castillo.
Corollary to what the Honorable Del Rosario had mentioned, I believe, though it is not certified as urgent, but I think most of us will agree that item number 1 is also urgent. Fuel, oil, and lubricant. I think it is also urgent. So, with the power of this body to determine the urgency of a matter, I think if everybody believes that item number 1 is urgent, we might as well, without the request of the mayor, we might as well include this matter in to be disposed today. Because my appreciation, Madam Chair, is that item number 1 is also urgent. Pambayad sa kuryente, pambayad sa gasolina, crudo. So, though it is not certified, as I've said, I believe that we can also include this
The 15 million.
and consider this as urgent matter.
So you have a motion to include
Yes, Madam Chair.
item number 1.
So with that, I move that we also include this matter under SBO, because this was included under new business. But as I mentioned, Madam Chair, since most of us believe that this matter is urgent, we transfer this to special business order so that it can be deliberated upon in today's regular session.
Any second to the motion? Okay, approved. So item number 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
considered urgent. It's 13.
The others, Madam Chair,
15.
are under new business.
Okay, 8, 15. So pera 15.
Yes.
15M.
So, if there are no other comments with regard to the sources of fund, yes, the Honorable Rosales.
Honorable Rosales.
The source of fund for the proposed ordinance, Madam Chair, the amount of 18,182,965 and 82 centavos is sourced from undeclared surplus. I understand, Madam Chair, that since this is sourced from surplus from previous years' accounts of the city, this should take the form of a supplemental budget. In effect, this proposed ordinance will have to be reviewed as well by the Department of Budget and Management because it is a supplemental budget. Last 2 sessions ago, we remember a letter from the Department of Budget and Management disallowing certain amounts for being inconsistent with our approved annual investment plan. Now, I had to check, Madam Chair, if these amounts here are consistent with the annual investment plan. And unfortunately, they are not. Halimbawa po, sa AIP kang CEPPIO, there is only 2 million pesos earmarked or included in their annual investment plan for 2022. I fear, Madam Chair, that if we approve this without the supplemental AIP, then the same will be disallowed by the DBM upon their review of the supplemental budget. So, I must highly suggest, Madam Chair, that we first secure the supplemental AIP before the approval of this ordinance. I'm not in objection of the proposed ordinance, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Rosales. Are you agreeable that we defer this?
Yes, Madam Chair. Even the amount of 5 million for the procurement of surveillance camera system is not in the
Dapat
AIP of the Public Safety Office. I have here the PDF file of our 2022 AIP.
Thank you, Honorable Rosales. Honorable Del Castillo.
Si panghuri kung apot, Madam Chair, pero pigapot na ni Konsyal Rosales, and I thank Councilor Rosales for stating that. And we really should amend our annual investment program if these items are not yet included under our approved AIP. Dahil na dapat ma-outro si
DBM?
declaration kan DBM Region 5 na ibang items sa satuyang annual budget was declared inoperative just because they are not compliant with the approved annual investment program.
So we will refer this to the
I think,
CDC.
first thing first, Madam Chair. Sabi nga ni Ken, dapat dahil mainot ang kalisa sa kabayo.
So we defer this first and refer it to
Yes.
Sige.
And siguro, para sa laruan na Madam Chair, the term used is undeclared surplus. So we cannot still use that undeclared surplus. I-declare ng surplus before we can appropriate the same.
So we have two actions that
Yes,
has to
Madam
be
Chair.
taken. First,
Dapat
the referral to CDC and to declare the unappropriated surplus
Yes.
first.
Mag-prepare ng supplemental financial statement na ma-declare ka ng 18 million as part of the surplus. So that it will be an appropriated surplus before we can use it for other purposes. So, duwang bagay, Madam Chair.
Dua.
First, dapat ma-include sa annual investment program. And second, ma-valid man sa unappropriated declared surplus. Tangarin magamit na.
So two actions taken by the
Thank you, Madam.
Sangguniang. Honorable Del Rosario, additional.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also understand that concerns. Very keen ako sa mga observations kang COA, Madam Chair. So, we should now talk of timetable. Kasi mga urgent ini mga request na ni. Kaya siguro we give time sa planning, Mr. Prilles, i-meet, i-ready si mga documents, tapos i-meet, and siguro next session, baka maano tanan ni Madam Chair.
So we defer this.
The CDC can convene anytime.
Yes.
Can convene anytime. Kasi dahil taman inaasaning mga araw kaning mga pangyari na igwa ni mga very urgent na kaipuhan. So CDC can convene anytime. Can be the mayor can call for a meeting basta igwa na ni mga documents to be submitted, prepared and submitted. Then siguro by next session we shall wait for the transmittal para sarabay na ang actions taken there. We are fully aware of the importance of these events, Madam Chair, and also yung items included by Councilor Del Castillo. And yung surveillance equipment ng PSO and the various activities for the Peña Francia Fiesta. So time is of the essence. So we hope to hear from the Executive Department next week sa session on our fourth regular session, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Del Rosario. Are you raising your hand, Honorable Rosario?
Yes, Madam Chair. Just a suggestion. I've been a member of the CDC in the 13th Sangguniang Panlungsod. We may suggest to the CDC to convene their executive committee because it is the body that is mandated to act on urgent matters. I understand that the CDC is quite difficult to convene and they tulos nagkakaibang quorum, so it would be proper that the executive committee act on this matter for the passage of a supplemental AIP.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Rosales. So the Secretary is so instructed to write the City Mayor to convene the executive committee for the inclusion for CDC, and second, to the city accountant will have the declaration of that there is an unappropriated balance, right? So, okay, deferred temporarily for next session. Next session. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mr. Ojeda. Mr. Ojeda of the City Accounting Office, kindly inform your chief. Next item.
Committee report of the Committee on Public Utilities.
Committee report of the Committee on Appropriation, Public Utilities. Public Utilities. She's saying Public Utilities. Public Utilities, Honorable Del Rosario.
Sir? May I request acknowledgement of the Committee
report
on
is
Public
acknowledged.
Utilities. The meeting was conducted 15 July 2022. There was a quorum. 4 items to be discussed, Madam Chair. One, the proposed ordinance authored by this representation entitled An Ordinance Further Strengthening Disaster Resiliency by Mandating Underground Cabling in Naga City, promulgating guidelines thereto, providing penalties for non-compliance, amending certain sections of Ordinance 2021-047 by expanding the powers and functions of the Interagency Task Force created and for other purposes. After a lengthy discussion, Madam Chair, with the Councilors Benape, Albius, Perez, and Del Castillo, and the committee agreed to set a hearing on the matter on this coming Friday, July 22, at same time at 10 a.m. Letter B, to invite representatives from the concerned telecommunication companies, cable TV providers, Kasureco 2, MNWD, to attend the said committee hearing. Number 3, for the Secretariat to furnish these telcos of the updated proposed ordinance, and also to furnish the other members of the committee. Likewise, Madam Chair, it is the opinion of the Chair that we also furnish the CPDO for its comment on the proposed ordinance. So I move, Madam Chair.
Second, Secretary is so instructed.
Number 2, Madam Chair, letter dated June 23 of Mr. Rick Mendez, Terminal Administrator of and Mr. Pio Samonte, Terminal Consultant, Sunny Lim, Consultant, Southbound Transport Terminal in Sabang, appealing for the transfer of the local bus and minibus flying southbound routes to the Southbound Transport Terminal in Sabang, Naga City. Again, Madam Chair, after a lengthy discussion, the committee resolved as to the disposition, Madam Chair. The committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to direct the management of the Bicol Central Station to submit to the Sangguniang Panlungsod data on the number of southbound and eastbound. Ano lang ini? Southbound lang ini. Mayong eastbound ini. Southbound lang. Passenger buses, minibuses, and other public utility vehicles within 1 week. The committee further resolved to invite representative of the LTFRB or the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board to the next hearing of this committee regarding this matter. I so move, Madam Chair.
Second.
Items number 3 and 4 were treated simultaneously. This concerns yung very poor. According to the letter sender, very poor supply and unreliable supply of potable water from the MNWD. The letters were from J. Enrique A. Mansor of Tabuco and Mr. Joel B. Bulao of Barangay Concepcion Grande, both of Naga City. Again, Madam Chair, after a lengthy discussion, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to call on the MNWD to urgently improve its services and ensure safe and reliable water supply for the benefit of its customers. So with this general statement, Madam Chair, we hope to inform the MNWD that we are in receipt of various complaints from the concessionaires of MNWD, and we are urgently requesting them to improve their services. Water is very important.
Actually,
Water is life.
Actually, Honorable De Rosario, there are various messages from the owner of the water refilling station that they are also encountering problems such as this, and it affects their business.
Siguro, Madam Chair, as I've heard, when the time comes na may serious consideration sa management ng MNWD, we can call for another meeting para
regards to the
mahiling ta mga
services.
strategies na gigibuhon ninda. Ano. Sa kanyang kaya puro OIC ang yaon sa MWD that could not really commit on ano, pag OIC status kaya, Madam Chair, very limited ang
But I think there's a department that answers to this.
yes, yung
mga sa
department
supply.
niya, yung in charge
Supply of
naman
water.
si Mr. Francisco, garo OIC man siya duman sa ano.
OIC man siya, duman sa department na ito. Ay, sa anong ito, division.
Pero very important, Madam Chair, si mga manifestations si Mr. Francisco, tama ba yan, Mr. Francisco? Na may mga pigigibo man sinda, pumping stations na hopefully by this year, ma-activate na ninda yung sa Kararayan, sa Longgigi, and San Felipe. Yung sa Mabolo, Madam Chair, yung pumping station ninda, they hope to acquire a transformer through the help of assistance of Casoreco 2 para dahil na sila magparagamit ng generator duman because for the past 2 months or 3 months, I think, yung operation ng pumping station sa Mabolo, pag daikon, pinapadalagan na kang generator. So, baka maka-acquire na sindaning ano. And sa iba pang strategies na ginigibo ninda, Madam Chair, to further improve yung water supply.
Pag may pumping station, makusog ang tubig. Samo kaya da eh.
Oo.
Harani ako sa pumping. Harani kami sa pumping station pero si linya kan tubig duman gabos nagaagrangay man.
There was also, Madam Chair, discussion sa pag-stop ninda kang mga new connections. And yung expansion ninda outside Naga. Pero these are more on yung management and board priority siguro, Madam Chair. Siguro we cannot really delve on the province of the MNWD as far as expansion and ano because again, tourist state, potable water is vital to the health and sanitation of citizens of not only of Naga but of our environs. Ano. So siguro we limit muna. The committee would like to limit it duman lang sa duwang letters nito. So we thank I personally thank Councilor Omar, Councilor Albius, Councilor Del Castillo and Councilor Perez for the active participation during our inaugural committee hearing. Kang public
Thank you,
utility.
Honorable
Thank you.
Del Rosario. Next item.
Committee report of the Committee on Appropriations.
Honorable Jesse Albios, Chair of the Committee on Appropriation.
Madam Chair, may I request for the acknowledgement of the report of the...
Your report is acknowledged.
Yesterday, July 18, there was a quorum and 3 items were taken. May I proceed with the items, Madam Chair?
You may proceed.
First item is letter dated June 17, 2022 of His Honor, the City Mayor, this city, requesting for a resolution authorizing the charging against the current appropriations of the City Mayor's office the amount of 475,000 under the account of other maintenance and operating expenses to cover the expenses of the Queen Orientation and Leadership Training held last November 10 to 21, 2021. After lengthy discussion, Madam Chair, may I proceed with the disposition?
You may proceed.
On motion of Honorable Gil Rosales, duly seconded by Honorable Gilda Gail R. Abonal Gomez and Honorable Joselito Del Rosario, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod the following dispositions. Letter A, passage of an ordinance authorizing the charging against the current appropriations of the City Mayor's Office the amount of 475,000 under the account of other maintenance and operating expenses to cover the expenses of Queen Orientation and Leadership Training held last November 10 to 21, 2021. So I move, Madam Chair.
Any second?
Next disposition is to inform His Honor, the Office of the City Mayor, that all succeeding requests regarding the charging of prior year's obligation against the current appropriation should be in the form of an ordinance. So I move, Madam Chair.
Any second? Approve.
Next item, item number 2, letter dated June 21, 2022, of His Honor, the City Mayor of this city, requesting for the passage of an ordinance reverting the amount of 548,100 pesos from savings generated from the competitive bidding of various local development fund, LDF projects, and appropriating the same to augment the allocation for 2 LDF projects whose original appropriation fell short due to additional works. After lengthy discussion, may I move it to the disposition, Madam Chair?
Proceed.
On motion of Honorable Joselito del Rosario, duly seconded by Honorable Melvin Ramon Venafe, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod the passage of an ordinance reverting the amount of 548,100 pesos from savings generated from the competitive bidding of various local development fund projects and appropriating the same to augment the allocation for the 2 LDF projects whose original appropriation fell short due to additional works, subject to the submission of the certification from the City Treasurer's Office as to the availability of funds. There was a compliance with the certification of savings signed by the City Budget Officer, City Treasurer, City Accountant, and back Chairman, Engineer Canning. So I move for the passage of this ordinance, Madam Chair.
Second. Okay, approved.
Next item is letter dated July 7, 2022 of His Honor, the City Mayor, requesting the passage of an ordinance reverting to unappropriated balance the amount of 3,873,425.97 pesos from salary savings of various departments and offices, excluding the local economic enterprise as of June 30, 2022, and appropriating the amount of 2 million pesos to fuel, oil, and lubricant expenses, and the balance of 1,873,425.73 pesos to electricity expenses, both under the City Mayor's Office. May I move to the disposition, Madam Chair?
You may proceed.
On motion of Honorable Gil Rosales, duly seconded by Honorable Melvin Ramon Benafe, Honorable Gilda Gail R. Abonal Gomez, and Honorable Joselito del Rosario, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod the passage of an ordinance reverting to unappropriated balance the amount of 3,873,425.97 pesos from salary savings of various departments and offices, excluding local economic enterprise as of June 30, 2022, and appropriating the amount of 2 million pesos to fuel, oil, and lubricants expenses, and the balance of 1,873,425.73 centavos to electricity expenses, both under the City Mayor's Office. So I move, Madam Chair.
Any second?
That ends my report.
Thank you, Honorable Albios. Next item.
Committee report of the Committee on Laws and Ordinances.
Honorable Rosales, Chair of the Committee.
The acknowledgement of the report of the Committee on Laws and Ordinances, Madam
Your
Chair.
report is acknowledged.
We had a quorum. Only one item was taken up, the proposed ordinance of this representation. An ordinance establishing a civil society organizations desk at the JMR Center for Good Governance, defining its purpose and functions, mandating the designation of a CSO desk officer and providing funds thereof. I received so many suggestions, Madam Chair, for amendments, which is why for the disposition, after the lengthy and extensive deliberation and motion duly seconded, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang to return to the proponent the herein proposed ordinance for modification and refinement. Further, to request a written position from the NCPC, the CSO desk officer, and the JMR Center for Good Governance, and for these offices to submit within 15 days their said written positions. So move, Madam Chair.
Any second? Approve. 15 days. Thank you, Honorable Rosales. Honorable Del Rosario.
Yan ako, Madam Chair, sa committee hearing ni Councilor Rosales sa ugma. I think yung 15 days baka halawig ng maray kasi I think yung mga participants naman will also be the same to give feedback through written comments. So siguro mga 1 week or same persons malang ang mataw.
So
Nadamog naman nila, Madam Chair, si substance kan si ordinance.
So you have
7
to
days
change the
lang, okay na yan.
disposition
Yes,
with the
Madam
approval
Chair.
of the members.
I move to amend the committee report to change the number of days from 15 days to 10 days, Madam Chair. I so move.
Any second? No objection from the members of the committee? Okay, approved.
That
15
ends
days.
my committee report, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Rosales. Next item. Josel, next item.
New business, first endorsement dated July 7, 2022.
Okay. Move for a break. Any motion? Break for 5 minutes. Ayoy, grabe.